Hi there, my name's Tim Warner. I'm a media editor with Pearson Technology Group. Welcome to this episode of On Certification. In this video podcast title, we're looking at the new Pearson IT Certification website. Our agenda for this screencast is very simply, what is the difference between informit.com and pearsonitcertification.com, and what benefit does this latter site have to you as an IT professional? First, we'll look briefly at the difference between informit.com and pearsonitcertification.com. Preliminarily, you should know that in the publishing industry, an imprint is nothing more than a brand. For an analog that you might be able to relate to more closely, think of a big company like Procter & Gamble. They actually have as they don't call them imprints, they call them actual brands for their major products, Old Spice, Gillette, etc. Now you might think those are separate companies, and they might actually have their own organizational charts, but really they're owned and managed ultimately by P&G. Similarly, Pearson is a huge company. We do a tremendous amount of publishing in most forums, academic, professional, K-12, the whole deal. The group that I'm part of is Pearson Technology Group, and this is a division of Pearson Education, that deals with, you guessed it, technology and information technology. The PTG imprints are Addison Wesley, Cisco Press, IBM Press, Prentice Hall, Q, and Sam's. If you've been in the IT industry a while, doubtless you've read titles from most or all of these imprints. Now, what used to be ExamCram and still is going forward is now rolled into this new imprint that we have called Pearson Certification, also called Pearson IT Certification. And to help us get off the ground as an imprint, we set up a separate website at pearsonitcertification.com that has the following goals. Of course, from a business perspective, it's an e-commerce front end to present all of our certification-related materials. Now, you should know that our certification study materials are predominantly in information technology, but not exclusive to that field. In point of fact, I've created another episode of On Certification where we look at some of the non-IT certification ExamCram products. For instance, ExamCram titles that help you study for your nursing certification, public school teaching, postal clerk, police officer, etc. So we have that. But more than just being an e-store, the Pearson IT Certification site was designed with the notion of fostering community. So we offer things like discussion forums, blogs, video podcasts, and most importantly for you as the customer, receptive author and editorial pool. Yet again, to link to another video podcast I've created, I focus specifically on our discussion forums, and I talk about that link up between the discussion forums and our own staff. It's a great opportunity to visit the Pearson IT Certification forums, to post your questions, to share your ideas, and get feedback not only from your peers in the industry, but also our authors and our own editorial folks in PTG. Without further ado, let's go online and I'll show you around the pearsonitcertification.com website. We're starting this brief online tour at informit.com. Some people call it Informit. And besides being a tremendous storehouse of knowledge, you can look at blog entries, articles, which in many cases are chapter-length extracts from our books, podcasts, newsletters, and all this. So Informit is, number one, a huge repository of useful information for the working IT pro. It's also an e-commerce e-store for Pearson Technology Group. And if I open the imprints menu, you can link to specific imprints such as Cisco Press, etc., or for our purposes, Pearson IT Certification. So now we're at pearsonitcertification.com, and the way we've designed the site, it's to be as simple and straightforward and intuitive to navigate as possible. One of our other chief design goals was to make the site as clutter-free as possible. So you notice the navigation bar. If you come in not knowing specifically what exam you want, or even if you do know specifically, you can browse by exams organized by the most popular vendors, Cisco, CompTIA, Microsoft, other, and professional certs. If you're coming in definitely not knowing which exam you're looking for, but you are looking for certification study materials via technology, you can do that. And then finally, we have browse by format, which is pretty cool, because certainly we're not just a book publisher. We offer books and ebooks, of course, but also we have several software products. We have what are called Cert flashcards. We have a CCNA and Cisco CCENT network simulator. We have lots and lots of video products. Rough cuts and shortcuts are various other electronic and in some cases print form factors for your certification and technology study success. The Explore menu allows you to delve into articles, read about our authors, check out blogs. This is a podcast, of course. Promotions is good for saving money, or you could look at series. And then finally, we have an I'm New Here help area, just to help you, again, gain a better foothold over what's here. On the sub-navigation bar, we have 3 links. We have a store link where you can actually make purchases. We have a forums link that takes you to the Pearson Certification discussion forums. As I've already said, we're discussing in a separate screencast. And then the requisite link to Safari Books Online, a fantastic online resource where you can read full-length, full text, and in full fidelity all of the books that we have for sale and software products, with some exception, on the Pearson IT Certification site. Yet again, not to sound like a broken record, but we cover Safari Books Online in at least 2 to 3 episodes of the On Certification screencast series. I do want to finish by giving you a heads up that you are definitely well served by clicking the account sign-in option, which will allow you to log in with your Pearson account. And if you don't have an account, you should create a new one. It's free of charge to do, but becoming a site member allows you to do a lot of really cool things. You can hook in with email-based newsletters. We have a newsletter feature called Question of the Day where we'll send you a sample question from a particular certification exam each day. It's a nice supplement to your studies. Of course, being a member allows you to personalize the site, and also in order to leave comments in the blogs, you'll need a membership as well. Definitely do that. There's no charge or no obligation to our doing that. On the home page, just to show you some of the static information here, you can find my blog easily enough right here in the lower right. You can check out the library of On Certification video podcasts over here. Here's that question of the day thing that I told you about a minute or so ago. And then you've got just traditional advertisement and special offer links as well. So that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, curiosities, etc. for me, I'd like to share my contact information with you. Again, my name is Tim Warner, and my email address is timothy.warner@pearson.com. To find me on the web, as well as to browse the Pearson Technology Group's IT certification titles, please hit up our website at pearsonitcertification.com. In particular, I'd like to draw your attention to the blog that I maintain there, as well as our certification discussion forums. In point of fact, I've created another episode of On Certification focused on those discussion forums. Finally, I semi-regularly update the On Certification Twitter feed with all the latest news, tips, and tricks with regard to IT certification. That address is twitter.com/oncertification. Thank you very much for taking the time to view this video podcast. Take good care.